Hey, what's going on, everybody? Josh Cathcart back here at Hardball Academy in Pearland, Texas, hitting done right. For this next video, I'm going to discuss creating a short swing. Okay, we hear this all the time. That kid's long, that kid's loopy, he's casting. Okay, all of that is a long swing. And what is a long swing? Okay, that's the first thing we need to understand is the difference between short and long. Some people see a straight front arm and they just assume all of a sudden that this swing is long. Okay, that's not necessarily true all the time. We have to be able to get connected to the rear side or the back shoulder as we start to turn. I can have a straighter arm and start to turn and connect pretty well and go. So that straight front arm is not dead set always creating a long swing. It can happen. We can get back here. But what I like to look for most is this rear arm angle. Okay, I talk about it all the time. We have to be able to maintain the rear arm angle, forearm to bicep, okay, as we come through the swing. If this starts to get outside here, this is when we start to get long. The further away that the barrel gets from the shoulder as we start our swing, the longer the swing will be. Okay, now why don't we want to be long? Number one is bat speed. Okay, the further we get out here, the slower the bat is going to be. Number two, direction. We don't want to be coming out and around the baseball. We want to be coming from the inside and through the baseball to the middle of the field. Okay, and then number three, barrel control. Once the barrel gets outside the top hand, okay, we've now lost control of this. When the barrel is behind the top hand or above the top hand, we have control. Where do I now need and want that barrel to go? I can control it with the proper arm angle and the proper barrel position. So many times, young kids want to get really big on the backside because they're not very strong through their core. So instead of taking the swing and being from the middle and then releasing the barrel, they're trying to get the barrel going with their arms and trying to really drag it through. You hear about drag versus lag. This is all having to do with being short and long in our swing. Okay? The main thing, however, is maintaining the forearm and bicep angle as we get to the backside and then start to release out. If that angle opens up, the swing's going to get long. You can also have kids that really push down hard with that front arm, and that's going to cause some disconnection and cause us to cast as well. Okay? But just because you see a straight front arm doesn't always mean that they're going to be long. Pay close attention to connection at the back. Okay? With the drills today that we're going to do, these are going to be drills that are going to be simple, all ages, okay? And you can do them pretty much anywhere. All right? So with that being said, let's go ahead and hop into the drills. All right, y'all, for this first drill, it's actually going to be a combo. Okay, this is just going to be our bottom hand and top hand isolation. Having players really understand what the front arm is doing and the rear arm is important to being able to shorten this swing up. Okay, again, we don't want to work out away from the body. One of the things that I say all the time is to create a box. Okay, and what I mean by that is right in here, bat, front forearm, front upper arm, and then across the shoulders should look like I have a box. Now, when you start to get kids that are a little stronger and they start to get more stretched out, it's going to straighten out a little bit, but we don't want to be out in here and we don't want to be right up by our face. We want to create a nice box. The idea behind this first drill is just going to be to turn that box. Okay, just turn the box and then you're going to release with that front arm. What you're going to see is players that want to push out, as they start to turn, they're going to push that bat off of their shoulder, therefore getting disconnected and getting long. All right. On the rear arm, what we want to do is to make sure that we're not coming and opening up that angle like I was talking about. We want to be able to turn, get that knob facing back to the pitcher with our angle intact right here. Instead of this, we want to be able to come down and get here. Talk about showing the bicep. Okay, knob to the pitcher, show the bicep. All right, so with the first one, with the front arm, we're going to set this up, and it's actually going to be on my shoulder. I'm going to go ahead and grab my left arm with my right hand, get into launch, start the hips, and then make that turn to where that knob is facing the ball. We don't want to get turned back here. Now we're going to be cutting it, and we don't want to push off and get outside of it. Okay, so just turn, one, and then on the next one, go ahead and hit it. Okay, keeping the head down, want to work to the inside and through, all right? Once you get to the rear arm, you can have the ball set in the same place. Now we're just going to switch this. I like to put that left hand up on the shoulder so that I have kind of that box feel. And now I just want to turn that box and release out to the middle. Again, I always like one turn. Start the hips. Get here, knob toward the ball, not outside the ball, not past the ball. Okay, turn, knob to the ball, and then through. Okay, head down. I always like to finish palm up with these. Okay, you don't want to see them flip. But that's your single arm isolations, staying connected on the backside and maintaining angles. Okay, for this second one, this is a 2T drill. I have a lot of 2Ts. I like kind of the barrier back here, and this is really going to force players to stay to the inside. All right, if you notice, these T's are lined up. This is my focus point. This is going to be the ball I am hitting. All right, when you set this up, I like to put this tee up as high as it'll go. Okay, we don't want kids going over the top of it. We want them working inside of it. Okay, when they get into their stance, set the tee even with their back foot. Okay, if you set it too far behind them, that's going to get easy. If you set it too much in the middle, it's going to make them really want to suck their hands in. We do not want to feel like as we turn that we have to pull our hands in and lose all of our space. We want to be able to keep that spacing and just keep the barrel inside into our swing. Okay, I use this all the time. It's one of my favorites. It's one of the quickest drills to fix kids that cast. You may not want to use a good tee on the back if you've got an old tee or if you've got an old bat. Don't know that you want to be swinging a $400 bat into a metal tee. But, okay, if you've got an old one, this is really, really good. I always like to go through this slow the first time in launch position. Again, always starting the hips first. Start to feel that barrel work back into our connected position here. And then as we turn, stay connected to the inside and through to that. Okay, so a full swing would be right there. If I was to cast out, I could come and I'd clip that here. Some of the kids are going to drop down and get it at this point. Okay, high connection. We talked about that before. Think about running the hands kind of across the chest here so we don't get the drop and losing the barrel out that way. And then again, watch the rear arm angle. If that opens up, no chance of staying inside. Okay, really, really working to the inside with this. So, love this one. Try this one today. Like I said, I use this one a whole lot here at the Academy, especially with the young players that just can't feel that backside yet. All right, guys, for this third drill, oldie but a goodie. I say it all the time. There's some of these drills that have been around forever, and they are still as fantastic today as they were when I learned them and when y'all learned them and everything else. So, the fence drill. You can set this up at any fence. You don't even have to have a ball. You can just do dry swings. All right, the way to do this, get into your setup, knob into the belly button, end of bat touching the net. Okay, you don't want to be in here and walk into it, and you don't want to reach out this way. Okay, belly button into the bat. The whole idea here is to stay to the inside. If we start to cast, we could catch it on the backside. If we get a little bit here, and then we want to go out here, and we don't want to really cut across this trying to avoid it. All right, we should be able to make a nice smooth swing inside, right back up the middle. Okay, this one is one of those that you can literally do anywhere that there is a wall. Okay, like I said, you could do dry swings, and you can really start to test how close can I get without hitting that net. Okay, now again, you don't want the players to feel like they're sucking their hands in, but you can be a whole lot tighter than what you think you can. I'm almost standing on the plate at this point, and I'm still able to do this. Okay, so creating that short path through the ball Extremely important, easy setup, can do anywhere. So that's going to conclude this video on creating a short swing, okay? The anti-cast. Extremely important. Remember, we talk about it for barrel control, bat speed, all of those good things that we want in our swing. Common problem, it can come and go. This is one of those elements of your swing you should always be aware of and working on. One day it may be really good. The next day it may get a little loose. It's the life of a hitter. Okay, so if you feel yourself, if you feel slow, if you feel like you don't have the same bat control, whatever it may be, coaches, if it looks like kids are slowing down, get it on video and check and see. Are we getting away from our body early? Are we able to stay nice and tight? All right, want to give a big shout out on this one to Archer Bat Company here out of Houston, and also to the guys over at Camwood. Sent me a full set of trainers. They're freaking awesome. If you haven't tried those out, get your hands on those. Y'all, if y'all have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me or the Academy. As always, we appreciate it. Y'all be good.